The Thunder have the most creative and fun offense to study in the NBA. Here is Josh Giddey, a point guard coming out of the draft. Here is Chet Holmgren, a 7'2" center. They are using Giddey as the ball screener and Chet as the replace man. This set is usually reserved for a big to set the ball screen and then a guard or a good shooter to replace to the three-point line, taking the help away. But since teams are putting bigs on Giddey to start games, the Thunder decide to use guards as ball screeners and have Giddey set the ball screen and instead of picking and popping, roll to the rim to be able to be a rim finisher or a playmaker. This is just one of the many ways the Oklahoma City Thunder attack defenses. The most creative offensive playbook in the NBA, in my opinion. Using Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren, they're able to spread the floor in 5 out and use creative offensive actions to pinpoint your weakness and continuously attack it. In this breakdown, we're going to dive into the Oklahoma City Thunder offense and look at all these creative actions and how it's propelled them to the third best offense in the NBA and almost to the top of the Western Conference. A big thank you to this video's sponsor, Dave.com. With running my own business, a YouTube channel, coaching basketball, my finances get complicated very quickly. And honestly, finances are such an annoying hassle for me, but Dave makes managing money easy. We have all experienced emergencies and unexpected payments, and I found out that out the hard way with young kids, there is always another payment to make with many unexpected doctor visits. In those situations, if I'm ever short on cash, Dave.com gives you the opportunity to take a cash advantage with no credit check or late fees. Dave is the banking app that's leveling the financial playing field. When you download Dave, you get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. It's part of Dave's extra cash account. Advance the money you need with no interest and then settle up later. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to make their finances easier. In fact, Dave has helped its members to avoid over $2.5 billion in overdraft fees since 2017. Download Dave today at dave.com/halfcourthoops. That's dave.com/halfcourthoops. You can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less when you download Dave. No credit check, no late fees. Download the Dave app now or go to dave.com/halfcourthoops. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve, member FDIC. The first thing I noticed about the Thunder's offense is how fast they are in transition, and they're running to 5-out spots. Look at Lou Dort here get to the deep corner, drawing the defense that allows the wing 3. An example of that from tonight's game against the Spurs, after they scored a layup early in the game, the camera cuts to the replay, and by the time they cut back, Dort's already hitting a 3-point shot before the camera can even catch up 4 seconds into the shot clock. This speed allows them to get downhill for easy scores and to create easy scoring chances before the defense can get set. They love looking for transition threes, especially on the wings and the corners opposite. And one of their favorite actions is to look to draw the defense first, so by getting downhill, looking for those rim attacks. And then once those rim attacks are stopped, to be able to find shooters trailing in transition. So you'll see them drive, draw 2 or 3 players, and look for like flips in transition. And then if Chet is the trail man, they'll be able to drive essentially through the nail, draw his defender, and then flip to him, keep the advantage going, and be able to have him attack downhill or get to a next action. Even though we're focusing on the Thunder's offense, their defense is elite as well, and one of the ways that they fuel their offense is by turning teams over. Now, they don't do this by hard trapping on pick and rolls or being that aggressive. They do it mainly through help, where you'll see them be helping in the gaps or anticipating passes and be able to get steals and transition buckets off of those steals. They're actually the number 1 team in the NBA when it comes to forcing turnovers on the defensive end. One of the things that pushing early in transition does is create mismatches or opportunities to attack a defense that is not set and is not aligned correctly. So here you have Wemby closing out to SGA, does a great job cutting an angle and then finishing. Here against the Wizards, you see Chet running to the rim now instead of 5 out, getting a mouse in the paint there and being able to post up for an easy score in the paint. And if SGA likes his matchup, he will be able to essentially just attack in isolation early, and you'll see Chet space the floor in these situations, usually opposite. SGA gets the advantage or the shot that he wants, is able to attack with little or no rim protection because of their floor spacing. Another way that the Thunder put early pressure on the defense is by having Chet use his ball handling ability to bring the ball up the court. looking for early scoring opportunities for him to attack when the defense isn't being set, if he likes his matchup, or to be able to drive and create for others. His ability to constantly just grab and go or get the ball and just bring it up the court. We call these BAMs in our program because I first saw Bam Adebayo do a great job of what I considered a great job of bringing the ball up and running into actions. Draymond Green does probably the best job in the NBA at it, where you see him grab the ball and go and immediately push their break, and it starts their offense from the second they get the ball. My favorite action, and the number one thing I'm stealing from this year's Thunder team, is how they set a flare screen for Chet early in transition. So normally in NBA defense, the player guarding the five is usually the other team's center or best rim protector. So you'll see them in transition low to the ball or low to the nail area. The Thunder will use the closest guard to set a flare screen on Chet's defender, usually occupying them for either a catch and shoot opportunity for Chet in transition, or to use it as like a decoy action where they can turn the corner and get downhill with no help in the paint. And of course, when teams know this action's coming, that leaves the flare slip opportunity open with nobody in the lane. You can see the flare screen set for Chet, and then the slip to the rim becomes wide open because they overreact to a stretched out five. The paint is wide open for easy layups. And this 5-out spacing carries over to their half-court offense, where you'll see, like Wemby in tonight's game against the Spurs, the bigs are spaced out on the floor, allowing for easy backdoor cuts or drives to the rim. Spacing out the floor with Chet's ability to shoot the three ball means that the big from the other team, especially against a team like the Kings, is especially vulnerable to these downhill drives at the rim and these layups. And this is where SGA and Jalen Williams really take advantage of all this space, using their ability to beat their defenders one-on-one, get the matchup they like, downhill, drive into the lane, crafty finishes, pivots, patience, and footwork, and not worry about a big or help at the rim because they're all spaced out. They're all worried about guarding the three-point line. That opens up opportunities to attack one-on-one and use their skill. A favorite action of the Thunder is to have Chet or the big pick and pop and then go into a second action. So you'll see him swing it to a handoff and then go into a guard-to-guard ball screen. So here Dort is the ball screener. So now Jones is switching on to Williams, and that leaves an easy paint pull for Jalen Williams to hit over a smaller defender. And then if you do a good job of defending this play and pressure Chet and take away an action, Chet then has the ability to attack off the bounce and make you pay for that pressure by getting to the rim and attacking one-on-one. And the Thunder keep you guessing with the ability of Chet to pop or roll to the rim. In this first flat ball screen example, Chet pops, no advantage here, so he plays it back, and then on this ball screen, he rolls to the rim, nobody tags, and he's able to finish the dunk. The Thunder love these guard ball screens, especially flat ball screens where the player setting the ball screen is around the nail area with their chest to half court, and then whatever side the player handling, usually SGA, goes, then the player goes opposite and escapes opposite. An action that we've run in high school and I love all the time. In the fourth quarters, you'll see them go to this ball screen action with like Jalen Williams handling and SGA setting it, keeping the ball in their two best playmakers and scorers, and then Chet spaced, and if you help at all, he's able to punish you with the open three. If they know teams are switching, and especially late in games, like late in fourth quarters, they'll have SGA set the ball screen and then roll intentionally to the nail and get the ball in isolation, essentially getting the switch that they want, and then having the ball to SGA in his hands at the elbow or the nail area, allow him to attack one-on-one with the floor spaced. In the half court, they run some sets, but by far their most favorite set is to get the ball to the elbow to a playmaker like Giddey or SGA, then have some sort of second side action, usually a staggered screen or screens opposite, and allow the playmaker to read what's open. Their favorite action off of this is to set a double screen away for the player in the corner, usually with Chet spaced in the strong side corner to take away that rim protection help that we talked about, and then allow those three players to essentially make different reads off of those elbow cutting actions, slips, screen downs, handoff, things like that. If teams switch on the high side, they love to have SGA set a back screen, get the player caught on that high side, and then backdoor for an easy layup. So if they know teams are going to switch off ball actions, they'll run that in order to get the switch and look for that backdoor layup. They will also run decoy action and then set up a backdoor for players like SGA and Jalen Williams on the opposite side, and then use the same sort of stagger action as a decoy and have SGA be the back screener. And then when all else fails, just give the ball to SGA, run that same stagger action, and now you give him the option of attacking with that big in the strong side corner and no help at the rim. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown and shed a little more light on how creative and how fun the Thunder offense is. It's one of my favorite offenses to study and watch and to take notes on as a coach. I hope you learned something in this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. You can check me out on Twitter at HalfCourtHoops and on Substack and my website, thebasketballplaybook.com.